All right, these are oranges that are green. These are the first oranges to appear since the freeze of 2021, I believe. Yeah, because it was after the hurricane. It was a bad year. And this one didn't come back. This one, I can't even find it there. I keep cutting all this mess back and it just keeps overgrowing it, but there is an orange tree in there. Anyway, I didn't think it was going to freeze as bad as it did, and I've cut persimmon trees. They made it through the hard freeze. Unfortunately, last year, these disappeared overnight thanks to probably coons and possums. Is this one ripe? Because if so, I'm eating it. Oh yeah, it's busting out ripe. See? Persimmons. So hold on a minute while I pick me this and have me a tasty treat. That, my friends, was good. And I have a mess all over me, of course, because that's just what happens. This one's super ripe too, but it may be to the point of rot. So I'm not going to eat that just yet. There may be some more in here. I have to look. There's lots on the inside. Some you would need a ladder to get to. Now let's go look at the other persimmon tree. Okay, this is a different breed of persimmon. It's littler, and I don't see any indication of ripening yet. Just they're starting to. The only real difference is they're smaller. They taste just as good. Next to it is a pear tree. There's a pear left here and there, but my dad took most of those. Oh, there's a big one way up there. I don't know if you can see it. And had my mom make a cobbler or two out of it. And we have wild pears, which I'll show you in a second. So I found a couple of more ripe ones. I'll bring these in to my dad. Hopefully he won't come pick all the green ones and think he's saving them from the wildlife, because what happens is they don't ripe properly anyway, and then they start to rot. But I've learned it's pointless to argue with him. There's some rabbit wire I could put around this particular tree that's not as wide as the small producing one. But I already asked about doing that and he fussed about it, so I know, I'm 50, but to him, I might as well still be 10, except when it suits him. But that's just elderly parents and parents in general. Anyway, so be back in a second. Pears. We have a lot of these wild pears growing around here. Now, can you eat them? Well, I have. There's not, I don't think they're officially ripe yet. There's one on the ground though. And a few of them touching the ground that are kind of rotting, because this is so heavy with these pears. And the blossoms are beautiful in the spring, and I probably have them in another video. But squirrels love them. This is wildlife food. But I'm sure the Indians ate them, so I'm going to see how ripe this is. Very, very tart. Tart in the way the persimmons are if you bite into them. You ever bite into a persimmon that ain't ripe? You know exactly what I mean. So I don't think this is quite ripe. But I'm not a wasteful person, so I'll finish it off. And then I am going to do some exercise. I mean, look how heavy this tree is loaded down. And there's more in the woods at the old homestead, the haunted homestead, as y'all heard, maybe have heard about. And I just heard either a tree knock or a woodpecker, but I'm pretty sure it's a woodpecker because it's very staccato and beat. Alrighty, now for some exercise. My dad just told me that those pears were poisonous, so I'm freaking out and Googling it, but I don't think they're poisonous. They're more like just difficult as far as using them for things, and generally not eaten raw by us humans. I can see why. But I've only ate a few in my life, and I remember biting into one before and eating that one bite, because that acidic feeling all over your mouth. So I think I'll be okay. Hopefully. Whew, I made it. I slow jogged 1.5 miles. My goal was 1.3. The days prior, the first day was 1 mile, second day was like 1.2. So I made a goal of 1.3, but I pushed through to 1.5. We won't discuss times because that turtle is still lapping me. But I'm never going to be fast. I wasn't fast as a kid. I mean, my build is not for speed. I took after some ancestors. That primary goal was not speed. They must have been hunter-gatherers or something. Anyway, because I'm always going to be wide here no matter how. I could starve for 3 months and still be wide there. That's scar tissue related as well in giving birth. But my thighs aren't so much chicken legs as I don't know if you can see, I have these most ridiculously skinny calves, no matter how much I work them. It's just the way I was built. I'm built like my grandma Loopy, kind of apple-shaped with skinny, short legs, mostly towards the bottom, and ankles that aren't very wide, so it's easy for me to roll them. So I have to be very careful about stepping in holes back here on this semi-trail I've made through the pasture. So happy Labor Day. This is how I spent mine. Looking for fruit, one which might have been forbidden. But since I ran, I guess I wasn't poisoned. Ran, jogged, fast walk. This is me. This is my one speed. Unless there was like a Bigfoot chasing me or my cousin's crazy dog who headbutts my car as I drive by. And I might be a little faster, but I'm not otherwise. So happy Labor Day, gang. I don't know if you can see it. So I used to think these were possible Bigfoot Sasquatch hairs caught on branches when I would go into my woods that are now more or less demolished by hurricanes and whatnot. But it's not. There is a guy, got a channel called Florida Prepper. I may be saying it wrong. I'll have to link him. He said basically those were, oh look, love bugs, mosses. Because he had them on his channel for something while he was out there prepping, showing us prep stuff. And it's a type of moss. So for years, as I wandered way back in there, and as you can see, it's not safe, I would think I'd found Bigfoot hair as a kid. But it was just a type of moss. So anyway, that is all for today.